Okay, let's talk specifically about Christian ethics for a little bit. And my source for that is Moral Choices by Ray. And Christian ethics, as we've seen, has examples of most of the types of ethical reason, but it seems to be centered around three elements. The first is divine commands, and in particular, most of us think about Exodus 21 through 17, which is the Ten Commandments. Okay, we have them here. And you got everywhere from you shall have no other gods before me to you shall not covet anything. Okay? You also have Deuteronomy 6, 1 through 9, especially 4. Now, 4 is, Hear, O Israel, the good Lord our God is one. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul and with all your might. Now, this is called the greatest commandment. Now, the interesting thing is this is not part of the Ten Commandments that most Christians and non-Christians cite as the Christian Code of Ethics. And notice that this is a matter of the heart. This is not a matter of something you especially do. It's almost like a virtue. Okay, take a look at Hosea 6:6. God says, For I desire steadfast love and not sacrifice, the knowledge of God rather than burnt offerings. This is more about attitudes and about dispositions than it is about overt actions. I just found that interesting. You also had Micah. He has told you, O man, what is good. What does the Lord require but to do justice and to love kindness and to walk humbly with your God? And this walk humbly with God is kind of the main point of this, is that instead of being given a list of do's and don'ts, we are told to try to be like Jesus. Okay, heading back to Matthew, Jesus himself talked about the greatest commandment. You shall love the Lord your God with all your heart, with all your soul, and all your mind. This is the greatest and first commandment, and most of the Pharisees would have agreed with him at that point. Then he added something. He said, You shall love your neighbor as yourself. On these two commandments depend all the law and the prophets. So he's saying that these two principles, that the rest of them really follow from them. Okay, that is the divine commands. He also talks about virtues. So we have a little bit of virtue-based ethics. Let's take a look, and this one is familiar to many Christians. Love, joy, peace, patience. These are attributes. These aren't verbs. You don't really. Well, you can love. You really don't patience. You can have patience. But anyway, you get the idea that this is virtue-based ethics. There again, this is kind of the bottom line. It says, be imitators of me as I am of Christ. Most importantly, we are supposed to imitate Christ, and we're supposed to get closer and closer to him. As we get closer to him, then we will be more ethical. Now, you also have this notion of natural law. What about the people who aren't Christians? What does the Bible say about them? Well, and it talks about there is special revelation, which is in the Bible. Then there's natural revelation. Most societies have some sort of laws against murder and other things of that nature, and that's what they refer to in the Bible as natural law. And for who all sin without the law, perish without the law, who have sinned under the law will be judged by the law. For it is not the hearer of the laws who are righteous before God, but the doer of the law who will be justified. For when Gentiles who do not have the law by nature do what the law requires, they are law to themselves, even though they do not have the law. And it says, they show that the work of the law is written on their heart, while their conscience all bears witness. Their conflicting thoughts accuse or even excuse them on that day when, according to my gospel, God judges the secret of men by Christ Jesus. So there's this notion that yes, there are things that we're revealed through the Bible, but there are also things that natural law teaches us. Okay, so these are the three main elements of Christian ethics. And this is the lens that I'm asking you to look at. One of the lenses I'm asking you to look at the ethical questions of AI. Okay, after this, I'm going to take a little bit of break and I'm going to be coming back.